Hey, good evening, guys. I am Dylan Burge, and I am a teacher at Pablo Upper Elementary. I have, along with a few other teachers, led the Google Parent training sessions over these last 2 weeks, and we had close to 100 parents show up to the training, and we were really proud of that number, and we were really thankful that that many people showed up. But I know some people still wanted to learn, or some people didn't attend, or couldn't find the time, or do anything like that. So I'm going to do a video overview of the presentation and kind of give an in-depth guide. So this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy video. I'm going to try and mark sections to see if so you can jump to places that you need to go to. Okay, so first off, I want to show you this button right here, a tiny URL that you can click on or that you can type this into. And what this is a Google presentation that teachers at the middle school made, Miss Gina Martinez and Brooke Murray. They're very talented teachers over there at the middle school. And what this is our presentation, but it can make it look like an app on your phone. So down here you see Miss Murray's little Bitmoji. It says click here to how to bookmark this site as an app on your phone. So if you click here, it'll give you all these instructions. I'm not going to read it to you because you can read, and if you have this app or you have the link to this presentation, you can do step by step. I do want to show some things on here for you. So for example, this little hornet button will take you back to home screen. So anytime you see the hornet, it'll take you back here. If you click the here is Google, anytime you see the word here, it will bring you to the Poplarville website because that is our logo. We are here for you. And that's just a quick little shortcut to come here. Now, how it looks like acts like an app is that you can save it to your phone, and if you remember stuff about Google Classroom, but you need a little bit refresher on virtual learning, all you have to do is click on it and go to it. And then you have these next buttons where you can follow through, you can read all the assignments, things like that. But again, if you want to get back to home screen, you just gotta click that hornet. So I'm just gonna let y'all look over this and click there and look to that. Oh, and also one more thing, if you see a little television down here, there's a video tutorial that goes along with it to help explain some of these things that I'm going to go in depth with. But that's just a little information for you because some people want to read it and go next through, but if you just want to skip to the video, just click it and it'll bring you to the video screen. And again, to get to the back, you just click the little hornet. All right, so y'all can play with that at your own leisure, but I'm mainly going to focus on the PowerPoint or Google Slide presentation of it. So first thing I want to go over is Chrome and Clever. We highly suggest that you download Google Chrome instead of using Internet Explorer or Firefox or Safari, whatever you have, because it'll make using the kids' accounts more seamless. And to go to that, you have this copy of this presentation. All you have to do is click here, and it brings you straight to the website where you need to go download it. So you don't have to try hunting where to go download, what's a good place to do it. Just click there, click download, and follow those short, easy steps. It's highly, highly suggested you use Chrome. One, it's more secure, and two, if you have multiple students, it makes switching in and out of accounts a lot easier. And I'll show you how to do that. Next thing to use is something called Clever. That will probably be a huge tool. It is a huge tool from kindergarten through at least 8th grade because that is how your students will get on iReady. Now to do that, to get on iReady or get on Clever, you'll go to Bible School website, parent and student links, so that's recently updated, and go click on Clever. Now when you click on Clever, it's probably going to look like this, and it'll say search for your school. All you have to do is type in Poplarville, and it'll bring up all the schools: high school, middle school, lower, and upper. I'm just going to click on the upper because that's the one that I work at. And what you do is going to ask you to log in with Google. So you click it and you click on the child's account that you want. So you see I have my email, my son's email, my wife's email. I'm going to go to my email because that's the account I want to go to. Now this is a big thing for the lower because they have some extra resources on here like let's see, ABCYA, some dog, I think Starfall was on here too that they used. Yeah. But again, like I mentioned earlier, the biggest thing the students are going to use is iReady. If you don't know what that is a we like to call a digital tutor. because it provides lessons to your child to help strengthen their weak areas and even to strengthen their strong areas. So if they're a second grade student working on fourth grade math skills, it's going to give them fourth and fifth grade math lessons. If they're a second grade student and struggling on first grade reading skills, it's going to give them first grade reading skills to help fill in their gaps. So it doesn't replace a teacher, but we just call it a tutor because it does help students grow in addition to what the teacher does in the classroom. Okay, then there's that. Again, that's to get to that, you'll go to the school website, which also have the link right here. So you just click and go to it. And then you click on parent and student links and then click on Clever right there. Now there's a video here of me showing all this again. These are for the parents who came to my session in school, but that want to watch it at home. You're more than welcome to have this as well. Now, again, this was just a step-by-step on how to log in with Google with one or multiple accounts. So first off, when you get logged in, you'll see a little icon up here. Mine's little Mario because that's what I am. I am the Mario person. My classroom decor is Mario and probably always will be. So here you can see I set all these others accounts. So to add other accounts, you just hit add another one and you type your or your child's email to add it to the resources. When you do that, it makes it a lot easier to switch in and out of their accounts instead of having to log out of a computer, log into another one. You can just quickly click the name and go to it. So since this says this session is expired, I'm just going to click on it and I'll have to just relog in his password real quick. And it's just a lot faster than having to log in and out of computer. So now you are seeing what my son sees because this is from his point of view because I'm logged under him. So when he's in his Google Classrooms, we can switch in and out from the different students. It just makes it a lot easier, especially if you have multiple children. And here I do have step-by-step instructions on how to download it from the App Store, either from Android, which I think is Google Play Store, or the Apple iPhone Store. I also have a video of step-by-step instructions on how to do that, and I have a video of showing you how Google Classroom looks like on a phone on the app. So you can, because in here I show you how to upload screenshots and pictures and things like that, which you will have to do for some of your students' assignments, especially if they are virtual. Now, what I'm going to do is show you a virtual classroom, well, a Google Classroom, and what the layout is going to kind of look like, especially K through 5. And 6 through 8 is going to look a little bit differently because they have a lot more teachers than we do. And I can show you what that one of their classrooms look like as well. But first, I'm going to show you what this Google Classroom looks like. So at first, you see here in this, there's a stream section. And if you scroll down, there's a whole lot of stuff here. It looks a lot of messy and it can look very overwhelming. And we realize that. So this is what we decided to do this year. And this is probably where you're going to live most of the time is underneath the classwork tab. So here you can see it looks a lot more neat, a lot more organized. So I'm just going to use week 2 as an example for what the kids are going to see. So the first thing they should see is a what's happening. That's going to give the students a list of their vocabulary words, spelling words, what the homework is going to be, and everything else for that week. That, so this shows you their spelling words, their vocabulary, their homework, math vocabulary, ELA, math homework. And since this is a PDF, this can be seen on a phone or a computer or tablet. And because of that, there are some websites here that this is the third grade math that they had the kids can use. So if you want your kids to practice some multiplication facts, all you have to do is click on that website and bring it to you. That way you don't have to Google multiplication websites. It gives you some fun things and games to do. And that should be one of the first things that they see in the classroom. It'll let you know what's happening for the week. And then you can see there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So all the assignments we posted for the week, that does not mean you have to get them done in one day. And does not necessarily mean all the Monday stuff has to be done on Monday. We understand there's some leeway time, especially with K through 5 and with internet access. However, at the middle school, for them to take attendance, they will have a daily little check-in form that the kids have to do. It's just a short one, two questions and a little smiley face thing about how they feel that day. So make sure your middle school students are getting on here daily, just whenever they can, and just so they can be counted as they were present. And so what you should see here is a video lesson that we make them in Google Slides. But I'm going to try to suggest we download it as a PDF to make it a little bit more easier to read and everything else. So every teacher is going to have a digital classroom. Mine's Mario because that's my thing. But it should look something like this, where it has the subject, which was writing. I taught writing last year. The lesson title is cursive letters A and B, and the standard I was covering. Then the next one should be a video of the teacher teaching the lesson. Whatever the lesson may be, it should be the teacher teaching that your child the lesson. And the kids can rewind it, replay it, however they want to do it. So whatever your child needs to help learn that lesson. And in case the teacher wants to add more resources, that's probably going to be towards the bottom. But after the video, they'll have a you do section. So for this one, it says complete pages 22 and 23 of your cursive packet. Once you are finished, please upload it to Google Classroom, and I'll show you how to do that. I do show you how to do that on the phone, which makes it a lot easier. Just take a picture on your phone and upload it real quick. And I know this says cursive packet, but any assignments we give you, you will not have to print out. It's something that the teachers will provide, like all the reading, math, and science workbooks will be sent home with your child. And if we want require this, where they need to trace things in a packet, then we'll send that as well. Next, you see We Do. So it says, if you have any questions about the assignment, please join a Google Meet session between 2:30 and 3:30. I believe actually the uppers times is 2:45 to 3:45 as of right now, this recording. It could change. I think middle schools might be the same time, maybe a little later because they're buses. So our office hours are basically for if a kid is struggling with an assignment or if they have a question, let them come to the teacher first. So say if Bobby Joe is working an assignment Monday and he gets all the way up to Thursday, but he just cannot figure that one problem. So he wants to ask his teacher. So at certain times, your teachers will let you know we will have office hours. What that means is that you can come to our Google Meet and it'll be at the top of the stream in the classroom. So all you have to do is click on that and it'll bring you to a live session with the teacher where your student can ask questions to the teacher. So even if it's Monday and the kid has already up to work on Thursday and they have a question about Thursday, they can still ask the teacher a question. That's a-okay. But because you're at the middle school, maybe hiring, you have multiple teachers, you might have multiple questions about a few assignments. You might want to schedule times. Okay, so I'm going to talk to Miss Murray on this day. I'm going to talk to Miss Martinez the next day. I'm going to talk to Miss Cruzfeld the next day. Just don't try to get all your questions answered in one day if you do need to talk to multiple teachers because there are other students trying to talk to them as well. So again, to get to them, you go to Google Classroom at the top of the stream section. You'll see a link up here. Now you see right here, there's a little eye with a line through it. This link will only be turned on for students while the teachers are online. When the teachers' office hours close, the link will be taken off and hidden. That way, there's not a whole lot of kids in a room and it's the teacher's not in there. That way, the teacher ends the session, kids are gone, everybody's home happy, taking a break for the day. And again, this video right here shows you how to do everything on the phone, even to upload and submit assignments. Google Forms is what most of the assignments will be done on because they can be graded automatically, especially if they're multiple choice or fill in the blank questions. Now, there are some instances where the kids will not see the grade automatically because the test will have an open-ended question or they have to type a paragraph or something like that. And I'll show you as an example. Go to classwork Friday. You see it's labeled as test because there's a test under there. So my week 2 spelling test. So this is a week 2 spelling test I had last year. So I'm just typing my name. So that's the same thing your kids would do. Homeroom teacher. Next. So here's an example of why they wouldn't get the grade back automatically. So right here, I would have a video of me saying 2 sentences that students had to type. And they had to show correct spelling, capitalization, punctuation, grammar, everything else. But then they had, just to show you what the test looked like. But then the rest of their questions for spelling words were just multiple choice. They had to click the correct one and go on and go on. And so the test would automatically grade these when they submit it. but it might say they made a 90 out of 100. Well, that doesn't mean they got the two sentence dictations wrong. That just means I haven't had time to grade it yet. So it'll show you which ones they got right, which ones they got wrong, what the correct answers were. And for a sentence dictation, the teacher has to grade that by hand. So it may take a little bit of time. Now, there is one tip I would like to give, and it seemed to be very helpful to all the parents that noticed it, is if you are in a class, a writing class, a math class, probably mostly writing and reading and history, and if you have to type a long written response, you type a paragraph or an essay into a Google form, you need to type in a Google Doc first, and I'll tell you why. So get to a Google Doc, you'll click this little waffle icon, and it'll have all your little apps, Google apps here that you can use. So we're going to click in a Google Doc and type our essay or paragraph in that, because as soon as you type in a Google Doc, your words are saved automatically. So it doesn't matter if your power goes out, it doesn't matter if your internet crashes, your computer blows up, what you type is saved automatically. You can see right here it says let's edit seconds to go, and it says save to drive already. So what I just typed right there is already saved, and that would be a big help, especially kids, I would say third grade and up, because third grade is when we start really getting to paragraph writing. And I say type in the Google Doc first. One, it saves automatically, and two, because whenever you're working a Google form, if you accidentally hit the back button up here, you hit the refresh button, your power goes out, your computer blows up, your just whole something crashes, then you have to start the form all over again. So if you see I hit the reload button, I already put my name and everything else, but now it's gone. So in a Google form, you need to be very careful when you have to type a long response and submit it. You really want to do it in the document first, so it saves it and you have something to as a backup as well. It's just a very beneficial tool to have, especially in this day and age when a lot of computers aren't reliable, or if you have a big assignment coming up and you type a lot, it's there. I mean, that works from third grade through college because I've used it several times in my college courses. Next thing I would like to show you is Guardian. Make this a little bit bigger. So what this is that you can ask to be a guardian of your student in the Google Classroom. And I'm not going to read this all to you, but I will sum it up. So, what you need to do is to ask the teacher, say, hey, I would like to be a guardian for my child. And they would just have to invite you through your email. So, to do that, they would invite you, and then you'll get to choose whether you get reports weekly or daily. I would highly suggest weekly because it gives a lot of the reminders at like 12 o'clock at night, or you can just mute your phone at that time. But it does give you good reports. It tells you what missing work there is, upcoming work, and announcements and things like that. So here's an example of my son's class. He's in the first grade summer learning Google Classroom. So on that Monday, I think July 5th, it gave me all these notifications. Okay, Kylan needs to do week 2, day 1, day 3, day 4. He hasn't done them yet because they just posted them. So that's okay, but it does give you an update of things they have coming up. Or if they missed an assignment last week for some reason, it'll let you know, hey, they missed the assignment. Please make this up. It's just another way to keep kids on their toes. And also, some parents want to know if they could see like a to-do list for their kids because, like in the middle school, they'll have up 5 or more teachers. So to do that, you'll go to click these three little bars up here, and click the to review section, and then it'll pull up all the work that they have to do for all the classes that they're in. You can see it through there, or you can see it through the Google Calendar. I personally like doing the calendar a little bit better just because it looks a bit more neater and organized. And you see I have a lot of stuff to review because all my old lesson plans from last year are going to pop up because I haven't done them. Yeah, lots of stuff. And next thing I would like you to know is virtual learning means whether your child is at school or not, they have access to all the lessons that the teacher provides and the work. Because as a district, we decided that if your child is at home learning virtually or if they're sitting in the classroom, they're going to get the exact same work. There's no extra fluff if the kid's at home or if they're in school. They're getting the exact same resources and the exact same work. There's not extra work if the kid's sitting in the classroom. There's no extra work if the kid's at home because the only fair way is to make sure they have all the exact same stuff. There will be video lessons of teachers teaching lesson, and there'll be other resources that students can use to learn material. So if there's a place value math lesson the teacher taught, they might link a Khan Academy video, and this also goes their lesson and maybe explains it in a different way. There will be assignments that students are turning, whether they're at home or in school. All the assignments will have a grade attached to it. When we got out in March because of the pandemic, we were not prepared. I mean, many teachers, classrooms across the world were not prepared for this to happen. And so, because we were just getting a paper pack and say, here, do this as you can, we are now going to make sure that everything we do has a grade attached to it, whether it be a daily grade, participation grade, or a test grade. There will be a grade attached to all work because the work should have purpose. It should have meaning. So there's no reason why there can't be a grade attached to it. And again, if you have a question for the teacher, they will have office hours. A lot of us will be at the end of the day when all the other students leave, but the teachers will let you know around meet the teacher or a little maybe after that when their office hours are because some may have multiple hours depending on the schedule throughout the day. And here I listed all of our virtual learning policies. You can click here and go see all that, but I did highlight some of the ones that are pretty important, such as students are required to commit to virtual program for the entire 9-week grading period. But since this is Friday, you probably already had some phone calls and sessions about that. Online and virtual learning will be the primary method of working towards competency in grade level and or content area because virtual learning will not be delivered through paper packets. Students must have access to adequate internet service. And I believe that's part of the discussion. And I know that the lower and upper were trying to expand their internet to the parking lot. I know there's always Hardee's and McDonald's and things like that. Just make sure that your kids do have access to internet. And also, students must wear uniforms while participating in virtual learning. So when they are Google Meeting the teacher, they must be in uniform. I know this may seem a little crazy, but think of it as a sense of normalcy, which we definitely need right now in our life. When it's time for school, get them put in a uniform, do the work, and then they can get off. But this is policy is just in place because there's been some incidences, not in our district, but in other places where students are not dressed appropriately, and there's things that are shown that should not be seen. So we don't want that happening here. And again, honestly, the biggest thing is just normalcy. Like, okay, I'm gonna put my work clothes on. Kids gonna put their school clothes on. Let's just sit there and learn. Now, this video can be used. Let's see. If you had any more questions, my contact information is in that little app up here. My name is Dylan Burge. The other presenters of this were Tammy Creutzfeldt, Brooke Murray, and Gina Martinez. And to see our information, you just click here. I'll go to change the phone number. So this is the PUE phone number, middle school phone number. My email's first. There's Miss Gina Martinez, Brooke Murray, and Miss Creutzfeldt. So if you have any questions, please contact one of us or the offices at school. And again, if you do see this, just click the horn to go back home. Anytime you see the here button, it'll bring you back to Purple School website. Thank you guys, and let's try to have a great year.